One of my biggest challenges trying to draw boxes and shapes in 3D and thinking in 3D is connecting them together. This is the Peter Hahn's book, Dynamic Bible. He talks about connecting shapes as an exercise. So he calls it shape relationship. He goes into he gets into some pretty good specifics about what to think about, how to approach it. So I just tried to do it, and then the second page, he tries a lot of different things. Here he hints at what's going on, like with the plane and everything, that I found so confusing, and I still don't. I see what he's doing here. I think I can make it more clear, because now that I've banged my head against this for a while and just found it harder than I thought it would be. Every bit of this learning about form and just drawing boxes and cubes and spheres and shapes like that has been harder than I ever thought it would be. So anyway, I'm gonna get into what I did here and how I watched a lot of Peter Hahn explaining things, and that helped a lot. Getting into how I figured out how to do this and how I'm gonna practice going forward. So I'm just gonna draw a box, and then I'm gonna draw a circle. Let's see if we can make this sphere push or merge or blend into this box. Peter Hahn talks about the points. So he makes points, he literally draws points. So this is where the intersection happens. This little space here is where we have to worry about, we have to think about. And that makes sense. So the next trick is to pick the closest angle, the one that would be closest to you. Pick a point. You can pick anywhere between here and here. So I'll just go in the middle. And now we have to think about this plane and this plane. Okay, so here's what I don't understand. I know this plane and this plane need to interact with this sphere using the dot that I randomly put here. I just don't know what, I think I use the center of the sphere and this dot. So think about cutting this, like going around this circle, the center, using the center of the sphere. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then using this angle, this plane, again, and using the center of the sphere, like that. Then what you do is you harden this line all the way to the point here. Harden this line, these lines, and the sphere itself, except for take off this stuff. So now you're left with a sphere that is melting into, or the block that's melting into the sphere, whichever you want to say it. Looks right to me, but yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't have come up with this myself. This trick I just did works, but it gets a little confusing when you're talking about spheres and stuff. Not a sphere, a cylinder. Probably not a perfect cylinder, but that's not really the point of this right now. And then use a pyramid shape to cut. How does this interact with this? So again, according to Peter Hahn, you got to think about just this from here to this area here is the interaction, right? This whole space. So I'm going to pick an arbitrary dot, the closest angle to me, to my eyes, to the camera, whatever you want to call it. It could be further down here, it could be here, it doesn't matter. I just pick in the middle. And then using this plane, just like here, just like these planes, just using this plane and this plane one at a time. So we'll use this plane first, and that angle will go around. So it's going to be more like in this angle. I still don't know if that's right, but it feels right. So, and then on this, for this plane, we'll do it like this. Does that make sense? That doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look right. Okay, I cut away the wrong stuff. All right, so this, let's try again. Well, let's try again. This and this. Okay, so that's the one. That's because my angle's wrong. Okay, my angle's wrong for that one. For this plane, something like that. So the angle going this way, and then the angle going this way, because it's matching this plane, right? Then there we go. That looks more correct. Yeah, that looks about right. These angles here, this has like this rounded shape. Though it's just crazy that you would use this plane and this plane. Not crazy, but I mean, it's not intuitive. It's not intuitive for you to think this plane in this plane. Same with this one. And now I just have to practice and practice and practice and practice. Stuff like this right here wasn't very intuitive either. And that's where Peter Hahn talks about it. Oh, like right here. And the way he figures it out is like you got these dots here, everything that interacts. Actually, these dots aren't here yet. You just have this dot and this dot. Okay, so this is in between. So in between here and here, this stuff is where the interaction happens. And then if we remember we use the closest angle to the camera, and then let's pick an arbitrary from here to here. Let's pick in the middle, just for simplicity. And then using this angle, this plane, the angle, which is this and this line, just pick a line that is parallel with this one. And here too, parallel with this one. That's where your cutoff is. It's a little more simple when it's not spherical in any way. It's a lot easier when I'm not trying to guess at the plane. Is this the same angle as this plane? That's as I'm drawing it, I'm like, is it? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like right now, I can tell in my mind's eye, I can see that these things are the same angle. Same with this one. I can see that they're the same angle. But when I'm initially drawing it, I don't see it right away. Same with this one. I don't see it right away. Is that the same angle? I don't know. Yeah. So it's just part of this is just training the mind's eye, training to see 3D. And it's something that I've never drawn before. I mean, my drawing habits have been mostly of 2D kind, so.